Goldman Sachs just released a report that should make every working American stop and pay attention. AI is cutting 16,000 U.S. jobs every single month. Not factory jobs, not warehouse jobs. We're talking about lawyers, accountants, analysts, programmers, and other white-collar professionals who went to college, built careers, and never saw this coming. And here's what nobody is telling you. The financial impact of this shift isn't coming in 10 years. It's already here. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, who is most at risk, and, most importantly, the specific financial moves you need to make right now to protect yourself, your income, and your future. Let's start with the facts, because the numbers here are hard to ignore. According to Goldman Sachs, AI reduced monthly U.S. payroll growth by roughly 16,000 jobs over the past year, and that number is accelerating. In 2026 alone, nearly 50,000 job cuts have already been directly attributed to AI, according to research firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. That's 17% of all layoffs so far this year. But here's what makes this different from past economic disruptions. Companies aren't just laying people off. Many of them are simply not hiring. They're waiting to see how much AI can do before they decide whether they need more people at all. That hits young and entry-level workers first. Stanford researchers found that the decline in employment in AI-exposed sectors is hitting workers under 25 the hardest. And in those same sectors, white-collar workers in financial services, media, and tech are now more worried about automation than truck drivers are. Think about that for a second. The jobs we were told were safe, the ones that required degrees and years of training, are now the ones most exposed. Now, let me be specific, because AI is taking jobs is not helpful if you don't know whether your job is in that category. According to multiple research reports, the jobs facing the highest risk right now are data analysts and financial analysts. Since AI can now process and interpret data faster and more accurately than most junior analysts, paralegals and legal assistants, because document review, contract drafting, and legal research are increasingly handled by AI tools, customer service and call center roles, where automation is already well underway. Content writers, copywriters, and junior marketers, one of the sectors hit hardest by generative AI, and bookkeepers and accountants, whose routine tasks can be performed at a fraction of the cost. Now, and this is important, this doesn't mean these professions are disappearing overnight. Goldman Sachs estimates that the full transition will take about 10 years. But here's the key insight. You don't have to lose your job to feel the financial impact. If your income growth slows, if promotions dry up, or if your industry starts hiring fewer people, your financial plan is already under pressure even if your paycheck looks the same today. And before we continue, if you're enjoying this type of content and finding value in these insights, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. Here's what concerns me most about this shift, and it's not the layoffs. It's the financial unpreparedness. Right now, 56% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. The average American household carries over $10,000 in credit card debt. And the personal savings rate in the U.S. is hovering around 3% to 4%. That means if your income gets disrupted, even temporarily, most households have almost no buffer, no emergency fund, no investments working in the background, no income outside of their job. One paycheck disruption becomes a debt spiral. One layoff becomes a financial crisis. And that's the real danger here. It's not that AI is going to replace you tomorrow. It's that most people are completely financially exposed to any disruption, AI-driven or not. So the question isn't just, is my job safe? The question is, if my income changed tomorrow, how long could I survive and then thrive? The first financial move is the most fundamental one. Build a fully funded emergency fund. Not $500, not $1,000. 3 to 6 months of your actual living expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account earning 4% to 5%. Think of this as income disruption insurance. If AI changes your industry and you need a few months to retrain, find a new role, or pivot your career, That fund is what keeps you out of debt. Online banks like Marcus, Ally, and SoFi are paying competitive rates on savings accounts, making this one of the safest and most important steps you can take. If you don't have this yet, make it your first priority. Before investing, before anything else, cut one expense, automate a transfer, and start building. Even $200 a month can create a meaningful safety net within a year or two. The second move is diversifying your income. Most people resist this until it's too late, but the best time to build a second income stream is when you still have stability. I'm not talking about quitting your career. I'm talking about creating income outside your primary job, however small, before you need it. In 2026, the side hustle economy has become more accessible thanks to AI tools that can help with invoicing, marketing, proposals, and administrative work. The most resilient workers are using AI to increase their productivity at their current jobs while simultaneously building independent income streams through consulting, tutoring, freelancing, content creation, or digital products. You don't need to make $5,000 a month. Even an extra $500 to $1,000 monthly can dramatically improve your financial flexibility because it means your job is no longer your only source of income. The third move is making your money work while you sleep. Long-term financial security depends on having investments that grow regardless of what happens in the labor market. Start by contributing enough to your 401k to receive the full employer match. Then maximize tax-advantage retirement accounts like a Roth IRA. After that, focus on low-cost S&P 500 index funds. They're not exciting, but they have historically delivered strong long-term returns. The logic is simple. If AI is increasing corporate productivity and profits, then owning shares in those companies through index funds allows you to benefit from the same technological shift that might otherwise threaten your job. You stop being just a worker in the AI economy and become an owner of it. Consistent investing over decades can transform relatively small monthly contributions into substantial wealth. I want to leave you with one final thought. The people who will come out ahead of this shift are not necessarily the ones with the most technical skills. They're the ones who take their financial foundation seriously before they need to. An emergency fund, multiple income streams, and money invested for the long term don't just protect you from AI disruption. They protect you from recessions, layoffs, health emergencies, and every other financial shock life throws at you. The economy will keep changing. It always has. The question isn't whether the ground will shift under you. The question is whether you'll be standing on something solid when it does. So let's recap the three moves. Build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in a high-yield savings account. Start building at least one income. Stream outside your job now, not later, and invest consistently in tax-advantaged accounts and index funds so your money continues growing regardless of what happens in the job market. If you want me to go deeper on any of these topics, how to start a side hustle in 2026, which index funds to consider, or how to build credit, leave a comment below. And if this video gave you one thing to act on today, subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of content I put out every single week. I'll see you in the next one.